I were in business right now.
Wow, this guy.
Where I'm just working with one or two guys.
Making kingdom moves, spinning no business like me, Shaq. Aiming for our goals, clear clack. Moving forward, no need to reach back.
Oh yeah, we are back again with another episode of the CROWNEDCAST podcast. My name is Joseph Honeysett. With me is the incredible Mr. Joel M. Ngulu. How you feeling, bro?
Excellent. Blessed, highly favored. You gotta say the M, bro.
Gotta say the M.
Matter, man. It's 2026, man. You gotta say everything.
That's the government,
man. Nah, I'm blessed, bro. Blessed, highly favored. Excited, man. It's been a blessing week. A lot of moving parts over here in the Crown Network family and intern parts. So just exciting, bro. Exciting.
Man, I'm excited too. Today is my last day of being 32 years old.
Oh, bro, let's go.
I'm ending my Shaq era.
Bro, you about to be 30, but you're entering your Jesus' era, the prime.
Exactly. I'm ready for it. Jesus, give me all the blessings that you got.
Man, he's gonna ask you to carry that cross, bro. At 33,
yeah, exactly, bro. That cross.
Man, how do you feel? How does your because you're an athlete, man. So we always talk about age. When I was in 2010, LeBron was with the Heat, right? And I used to wonder, man, there's no way he can continue going like this because his body's gonna wear and tear. But he's 42, still hooping, right? But his body took a toll. And I've always heard, bro, in your 30s, your body just fails you. You start to feel it. And I never thought that until I started turning 30.
Yeah, I think every young person thought that. I thought that too, bro. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, that feels different. I wake up, I'm like, I know I didn't do anything crazy, but my knee hurts or my lower back. But it's not crazy. I think people over-exaggerate it. Good thing for us that we take care of our bodies because it's so much harder. I don't know if you ever go through seasons where you kind of take off from the gym, or maybe you just show up to the gym. But bro, when you try to get back into that mental switch of all right, I'm getting back into the gym and I'm going to go hard. Oh man, it's not like when you're 18 or 16, where you can just go hard and you can go hard forever. It's so different. I definitely get more tired now than I do, previously.
Yeah.
We feel good, bro. We feel good. I'm 33, bro. I feel like I don't look like 33. Bro, look at other 33-year-olds. I know we're live right now. Man, some of y'all 33-year-olds, y'all need to take care of yourself.
Bruh. The thing is, we're still young, bro. They told me, I'll talk to people. They'll be like, bro, you're only 30, 32, man. Wait until you're 42. That's when you really feel it. Because I used to hoop with 40-year-olds, and they were cold. You could tell they played in Europe and everything. And I'm like, you could tell he used to be good, but he's like, bro, I'm 45 or 44 or whatever. And he's like, bro, it's way different. So yeah, man, we're still young, bro. We still got a long way to go, man. But, man, happy early birthday to you.
Appreciate it.
Always love you as a brother, man. And so I'm just blessed, bro. I'm blessed to run this mission, run this journey called life with you, man. And so we've seen a lot in the past year and a half, 2 years, bro. We're going to get into that, but I just want to give you your flowers, bro. Love you, my guy.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's an honor. It's cool, being 30, about to be 33 and doing what we're doing. It's not that I never imagined myself to be doing this, but it's just I don't want to say crazy, but it's cool to step into, man, just serving God, bro. That's one of the coolest things ever. It's bigger than you. It's more heartfelt. There's more of a mission, So we complain about vanity all the time, but that's what most people chase. They chase the fame, and not people chase fame more than they chase money, right? And they think that they're connected. But even people in our space and the faith-based space, man, so many people are just focused on themselves, and they look like they're servers, but really it's all about them. And you've been able to see that behind the scenes and just getting to know people and see how people move out here, man. It's honestly funny and sad at the same time. because it's sad in the sense of, man, I feel bad for you because what you're chasing is just a lonely road, you know,
Right.
because it's all about you, and you're being fake about your intentions. And a few days ago, I made a video about, you know, Acts 2 and how we're supposed to do life together. I think it was yesterday, actually, made a video about entrepreneurship isn't meant to be lonely. But what do you hear all the time? When you're an entrepreneur, it's lonely. It's
Yep.
at the top, right? But that's not what God intended us to live our lives, to do business with each other. And that's why we created Crowned.
Yep.
It's Acts 2 in real life. And then we were talking the other day about, man, the wealthiest people, they work together.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't matter what they do. They understand that, hey, we can get more money together than I can get individually. And I'll speak for the people that are in our space, in the faith-based space, which is contradictory to what the faith-based space should be. But everybody wants to do it for themselves. They don't want to do it for the Lord. They don't want to do it for the strength. You know what I mean? And so it's comical, man, because you got a lot of fakers out here. And you know, yeah.
Everyone wants to be famous, bro. Everyone wants to make their name famous instead of making his name famous, right? And they say they do until they experience it. It's almost like, man, you know, in life, you say you want things until you experience it, and you're like, why am I going through it? But you ask for it, you know? And so people say, man, I want to be a faith-based entrepreneur. Well, guess what? Well, you got to go serve first. You got to go pour yourself out, just like in every other industry, man.
They only want to do it when it's convenient. Until it's not convenient for them, like, oh, actually, I'm gonna switch up. And that shows that it was never God intended. It was never purpose-filled. It was self-filled.
Yeah, I mean, it could be sometimes too, man. It starts off as God intended, right? But then over time, you change because you start seeing, oh man, I can get this, I can do this, or that worked, you know. And you start like, because I just believe that everyone at the starting point experienced God at one point, and then they just got perverted or got confused or got in the wrong direction. Because I've heard so many stories, man. People are doing it for God, and I'm like, bro, that's not the way they started out. When I met them first, they were on fire. Now they just changed, and you could just tell the money got them. So after years of seeing people like that, I started just figuring out, like, I think people generally, whenever, especially when it's like for God, they generally want to, but then when God requires you to die, so to say, like when you said 33, He requires you to pick up your cross. It might look like servicehood for the next 3-4 years, but He still calls you to the vision. But you think He calls you to the vision right now. And so you got to do it right now. Like I fell into that trap, bro. Like we have a big vision with Crown. My family is orphanage, what we're doing. Like I fell in love with the vision so much that I went in front of God. It was like, I got to do this now. If it's not now, then God, He didn't call me. And so when God was like, I didn't say that right now. It's going to happen, but you think it's right now because you want the clout at the end of the day. And God highlighted that through many experiences that I went through, right? And so I genuinely think people start off good. It's just over time, man, it gets perverted because of pain, offense, like things that have happened to them. They've got heartbreak. And so now it's like, it's my turn to get it. And now I'm with the Lord, so I'm going to go get it with the Lord. But they still haven't let go of the past or haven't forgiven the person, experience, or themselves yet.
Yeah, I think also you fall into that trap of like, oh, I got God on my side, so it's gonna be quick, okay? Because God gonna provide a miracle for me. And
that's what I'm saying.
The reality is, it's the same. You just got God, which should give you more grit, which should give you more endurance, right? But
or go understand God. God, He's pretty. Look in the Bible. He takes His time, right? There's moments where it can happen quick, but majority of the good things, the God things, happen little at a time. And we forget
absolutely,
that,
man. And so I think that's that's why I love what we do. But I know the other day we were even talking about Crowned, the purpose, and it's legacy driven, right? And even some of our frustrations, right? Like going back to what I was talking about with the wealthiest people in the world, they all work together because they understand the leverage that they have when they work together. And in Acts, it talks about how they ate together, They had community together. They built together. They poured into each other together, right? Like that's what the church is supposed to be. The church now is, I just go to church on Sunday. I wear some of the cool merch, and then I go back into the world for the next 6 days, right? Until next Sunday. But I'm a Christian. But like you have to understand, again, like you said, understand who God is and what God tells us to do. And so majority of people, I'll say even in our community that we built, do not understand the power of collaboration and partnership and really writing for a vision. I'm not saying our vision, but the vision that God has for them, but as well as all of us individually. But the only way you do that is by getting to build with each other. People, it's because society, you hear people say all the time, man, I'm self-made. Drake says no new friends, right? Like that's false. You know, it's just a false teaching because it sounds dope. It's like, man, I made a meal by myself. I didn't need anybody's help. But that's not true. You know, and people listen to that and they fall into that trap of like, you know what, I'm just gonna grind. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be a lone wolf.
All right.
How can you? You can go further when you run with others. But there's so many great sayings that we hear and we say all the time. But when it comes down to it, people don't want to do it because they want the clout for themselves, right? Yep. They want to shine for themselves. Again, it's never about you, especially if you're in the faith-based space or you're a Christian. It's about all of us because we have a community. It's like, hey, you do social media, right? We do branding, we do authority, right? If we need a cameraman, if we need, somebody that does meta ads, we need somebody that, does something else. You have everything you need. And when you understand the vision, it should be like, hey man, can you run my social media for you? I'll go ahead and, record you, do videos for you. I'll edit it for you. Don't worry about it, bro, because we're getting it together. And by the stuff that you do together, other clients, you're going to get other clients. But when it's people on the same team, why would I pay you? We're on the come up together, right? We're going to get clients together that are going to pay us. But everybody, they don't understand the long-term vision. They just want the short term. And I believe that's one of the biggest traps because so many people are, hungry to get paid. I understand that. But man, if I was 18 years old, man, I would not go to college. I'd have all my friends. I'm like, hey, you're passionate about this? You go do social media. Hey, you go do videography. Hey, I'm going to do XYZ. And then we're going to come together and we're going to support each other and we're going to build individually, but together. And the amount of impact that you can create from that. Like, that's why I love stories of rappers, bro, because they have their team, right? Like they have their day ones and their day ones ride with them and see, hey, you got this vision. I can't rap, but how can I play into this? How can I, like LeBron is such a great example of putting his homeboys on. Because now look, you got Mav, you got what's the other one? Rich Paul, right? All of them went to St. Vincent St. Mary High School, and now they're all multimillionaires because LeBron was the one with the talent, and they looked at it and like, how can we help further Bron's vision? Now they're all able to eat together, sit at the same tables, right? Like that's what Crowned is. That's what Acts 2 is. Hey, you got the talent. We got the grit. We got the work habit. Let's go and make something happen together,
homie.
But people are like, Bron's got the talent, so I'm gonna go and do my own thing. I'm gonna make a name for myself. Why?
Yeah.
Ride on the coattails of the people.
You're working too hard.
Exactly. But that's what happens when the body comes together. Like I understand. I mean, maybe LeBron is a Christian. I don't know. Right. But like, that's what it's supposed to be. Come together and let's go make the best out of our lives as possible.
You said LeBron a Christian. You said Steph Curry wasn't a Christian.
Yeah.
Nah, I said to make
If
that.
Wardell ain't a Christian,
Nah, man, but that's what Acts 2 is, bro. That's what Acts 2 really is. Everyone is looking for a revival. So revival is the fruit. The root of the tree is humility. If everyone could just come together, humble themselves and come together, revival is naturally gonna happen. Stop trying to go and make a revival on your own. Stop trying to have these concerts in the Christian space or in the business space. Stop trying to do on your own and just get together. Revival is naturally going to happen whenever you are gathered. And so, like, I wish you that example of LeBron that was perfect. But also, like the Acts 2, you're supposed to go to the church for every solution. Bro, if I'm looking for a job, you know what? Where am I going to find it? At the church. Someone there in that community is going to either have an opportunity for me or is going to have a connection to an opportunity for me, right? But I got to humble myself and I got to be bold in front of everybody in that community and then be vulnerable and tell them I need a job. If I need healing, well, let's go to the church. Deliverance. If I need rent, you go to the church. If I'm looking to date, go to the church. There's gonna be some Christian women, Christian men that you can go find. I'm not going there with the intentions. I'm going there with the intention to reach God, but there's also family. There's also people there. Why not kill two birds with one stone? That's what God wants. Don't work as hard, man. You're working too hard. Some of us are separating church in our lives and our businesses, and then we're wondering why things aren't working. It's because God is supposed to be in the mix of all of it. It's supposed to be like a synergy, right? And so for me, I look at Acts 2 as like the solution for every problem in society. And that's what Crowned is. Like Crowned is that solution for the Christian business, Christian ministry that wants to be an authority figure in that space. Like come to Crown Network. We'll get you right. We'll set you up with someone who knows how to write business plans. We'll set you up with someone who knows how to write LLC. We'll set you up with someone who knows how to marketing to balance your books. Like we have an ecosystem of that, and that's what we're building because it's a global ecosystem, right? And I believe a big problem, this is my opinion on it, is because we're not meeting physically. Because I've noticed like some apostolic centers was physically, and then let's say there's a videographer next to me, and then I do social media, and then there's someone who does funnels. If we're all together, we're naturally gonna see each other, and we're naturally gonna pass each other business. But when we're all separate and we're all kind of like doing our own thing, it's hard to like stay top of mind. So when I need a Christian videographer, it's hard for me to think of the person right away that needs to be a part of my team because we're not together. So I think a big battle of that is people aren't meeting enough. People are just too separate. But I think we have the Holy Spirit. We have an advantage today that people didn't have back then, that we have technology. We can, if we were real ones, we will find a way to make it happen, right? We have all the technology that we need, right? And so I'm going on a tangent, but even going on COVID, right? If you're a real one of Christ, you're going to meet online. You're going to find a way to meet. If you're a real one of the church, if you're a real one that says, hey, I really want to collab, you're going to find a way to collab. Even though we can't meet in person, you're going to find a way. But my point was, I think a big problem is we're not meeting in person.
Exactly. And that's why June 26th, you should come to Kingdompreneur here in Dallas, Texas, where we are going to be uniting high-level Christian entrepreneurs together to do business together, to build relationships. But we're also going to come in and intimately talk about how to grow your business. Take your calling, the calling that God has placed on your life, and to add increase. That's why I love my name, bro. My name, Joseph, means to add increase, right? And that's what life is about. We're not supposed to go backwards. We're supposed to go forward. So you may not have a business yet. You may understand your calling. You may already be in your calling. But how do you monetize it and take it to the next level? How do you be a brand in the marketplace that is standing out to everybody else that does exactly what you do? That's where we come in. That's where we help. Kingdompreneur is a growth lab, right? Like that's exactly what it is. So June 26th, Dallas, Texas. It's a free event. Unless you want to be a VIP, then be a VIP. We do that because some people look at themselves differently. They're like, I'm not a general admission type person. I'm a VIP. And I love that because I'm a VIP too. I'm a very important person for myself. And you understand that when you're a disciple, which means we're sons and daughters of the Most High, Jesus Christ, man, you are a VIP. Right?
I want to continue a little bit of this topic real fast. I want your opinion on this. What about the person who wants to collab and they're trying to, but they don't understand? Because there's the person that doesn't understand that she needs to collab and needs to connect with the body, but there's also the person that's connecting with the body, but they're still like their people hurt, right? They don't understand that collaborations, partnerships, there's going to be hurt there. You got to learn forgiveness. You got to learn grit, right? And so there's two different people, right? There's people who don't know Christ, right? But they need to know Christ. There's people who already know Christ but aren't following him right. They understand there's going to be letdowns. They understand to carry your cross. Like, they understand the speed of the way God goes, right? And so there's two different types of people. Can you talk about your perspective on the collaboration part? The person that already wants to collab, who's already in the collaboration, but I guess is not doing it correctly.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for collaboration is figure out where you fit in, right? How can I play into your mission, your vision, right? Because it's got to be mutually beneficial for both parties, right? Like, why would I collab with somebody if all it is about me, right? Like, I'm only doing this because I get the benefit, I get the gain. You don't, nothing changes for you. So you got to figure out where you fit in, number one. But also, two, I mean, you're going to experience people hurt. You're going to experience church hurt. Like, welcome to the club, because we experience that too. We're no different. But by experiencing that, you're able to identify who is going to be a good partner, who's going to be a good collaboration. It's funny. Last week I was on a podcast, and shout out to the Boiling Point podcast.
Woo.
And the interviewer asked me about partnership and like business partners and like what my opinion upon them. And I told him, I was like, honestly, it's a blessing when you have the right business partner. But if you do not, it is a lot more strenuous, stressful, and it really kills the purpose and vision and why you're partnering together. Because I've been on both sides. And, I got to talk about you for a second, because, like, it's so easy. It's effortless when you have the right one. And there's three different people. There's bad people, there's good people, and then there's the right people. The bad people is you already know, hey, this isn't a good fit, right? There's good people out there that you could partner with. But there's going to be some maybe difference in opinion, difference in vision. And if you are set on having something a certain way, that's going to create tension that ultimately, isn't going to be as beneficial to you, because there's going to be more time, energy trying to persuade your business partner. You shouldn't it shouldn't be that way. You should be in lockstep. And if there are differences, you talk it out. And that's why we lead with humility, right? Like, because there's very few things that are the wrong thing to do. Like in business, and I'm going on a tangent now, so I apologize, but
come on.
But like, what is the wrong thing to do in business? There's not one path to the top. There's multiple paths, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can take one path and you go backwards, but then you shoot all the way up, right? So was that the wrong path? Probably not, right? Yeah. There's another path that goes straight ahead, right? Is that the wrong path? No. And then there's another path that makes you go all the way back. Is that the wrong path? No, because there's still learning involved in that. And so you have to focus on the right people, because if it doesn't fit like a glove, if it's not peanut butter and jelly, if it's not the white on the rice, then my suggestion is find the right people. Don't focus on the good people. Find the right people. It's the same thing in dating. There's a lot of great women out there. Doesn't mean that it's your woman, right? And when you avoid things, when you're like, oh, that's not that big of a deal, it ends up turning into more pain and more hurt and frustration. And so collaboration's got to be right. I mean, we've made a lot of bad mistakes, when it comes to collaboration, but that's a part of learning, right? You're able to lose out on money and be stabbed in the back, and people tell you, oh man, bro, I love what y'all are doing, and do the same exact thing as you, right? And so you're gonna experience that. It's just a part of it, because at the end of the day, you're the inspiration for them. And so collaboration, it's got to be the right people, and if it's not, then keep on looking.
And then even with the right people, man, like you gotta just be flexible and learn, like, your perspective, their perspective is different. And like I that's one thing we didn't learn as young men. I didn't learn that. I wish I would have learned that. Hey, you're gonna get people hurt. Someone's gonna betray you. You're gonna go into ministry. A lot of ministry leaders are gonna hurt you and betray you, right? I wish I would have known that. I had experienced the hard way, and then I got mad at God for experiencing what life is about. It's about getting hurt and getting back up. And so even in collaborations, bro, I just want people to understand, even with the church, even with ministry, it's not supposed to be perfect. Why? Because you're dealing with different perspectives, and the whole point is that, hey, let's learn, let's talk about it, and then from there, let's come up with the agreement and moving forward. And that's all it is, man. It's harder than because there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of like ego, but if you can get past that, then you can have something. And that's what the church of Christ is supposed to be. You're supposed to get past the egos quickly, and then that way you can continue going on the mission. But enough collaborations, bro. I just wanted to touch on that because that's
good. I got something else to add on it. And if somebody's watching this and they're like, man, get on to the next topic, well, hold on one second, because collaboration, partnership, it's just like basketball, bro. You may have, like, if you're running fives, I was watching the Detroit and Cleveland game last night. Great game, by the way.
Who won?
Cleveland. They were down the whole game. Until the fourth quarter. Came back at one point down by 15 in the third quarter. They came back and won. And you got James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, who are like the main players on the team.
Yeah, Mobley.
He's
Mobley. Cold, bro. He's all-star. He's all-star, bro.
No, he
might be more valuable than James Harden, but that's a different topic. Continue though.
I wouldn't disagree with you. Stretch big, come on. Let's not talk about basketball, because I could get into my bag about that. But Donovan Mitchell was on the Cavs first. It was his team. Like, he was the regeneration of LeBron James in Cleveland, right? No disrespect to LeBron. But James Harden took over that game. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, he balled out, but you understand your role. Donovan Mitchell has a different role than James Harden. Evan Mobley has a different role than everybody else on the team. Why? Because that's how it works. So when I say you have to figure out where you fit in, when you're a superstar, and like that's how you view yourself, as like an authority, a public figure or whatever, and you want to do partnership, but you have to take a back seat because ultimately the goal is to win. You have to be okay with that, because it doesn't matter how many times you win, you're going to end up leaving. Look at what Kyrie did with LeBron and going to Boston. He wanted his own team. He just got a ring, but he wanted his own team. And so that didn't work out because of how Kyrie felt about that partnership internally. It's the same thing in business. If you have to take a back seat, and that was never your intention to win while taking a back seat, it's going to end up not working out for you in the total partnership. So I'll end it with that. You got to figure out where you fit into the overall mission and vision, but also like for the team, but also you have to understand your role and understand, am I okay with this? And if you're not, then you're going to turn into the Brooklyn Nets. You're on mute.
The greatest solutions in life come from inside and out, right? We talk about that. The solution is probably inside out. You're not looking at it. And the greatest problems in collaboration within the church always starts inside out. You talk Kyrie and LeBron, Kobe and Shaq. Everything always starts whenever the brand. Look at right now with Jason Tatum and Brown. Brown is like, oh, I had my best year. Even though he won the championship, he had his best year this year because he had the best numbers. So now it's like, is it about you or is it about the team? You know, so that's the question. Yeah, it's always inside out whenever there's a problem, but also a solution, which I just learned. But yeah, man. To pivot, man. Man, I want you to get into any events, anything you have.
I mean, this is a great segue because we're talking about partnerships and collaboration. One of the things that has got apparently the internet up in a tizzy is the AP and Swatch collaboration, and I don't know why. So AP and Swatch, they collaborated, and I know this is kind of like a random topic for us on the CROWNEDCAST, but we're talking about collaboration, so let's get to it. But AP, you know, a very prestigious watch brand. Their watches are hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And they collab with Swatch, which is not as a prestigious watch brand, but they collaborated to make a affordable luxury AP Swatch watch for like $400-$500, and people are pissed about it. Yeah. And people are saying, "Oh man, I'm gonna sell my APs because it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna degrade the brand." And my whole thing with this is the people that are complaining can't even afford an AP. Like, you can't afford it, but you have an opinion about it, right? And I think that just is more of a conversation of internet culture and how people just hop on things and want to be relevant in complaining about the same thing. So, you know, I don't know if you're tracking that at all, but
yeah, I mean, I saw it, man. What's going on? I saw the anger was like people were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now it's only $400. And so I saw that part of it, but I didn't understand what was going on or why. I just saw the collaboration, and I just saw the backlash from it. So, but it goes into what we always talk about, like, bro, people just want to follow the hype instead of being like lonely and going to their calling. People just want to go to what is everyone talking about. Let me hop on that wave. Like, speaking on current events, like the Cat Williams and the Kevin Hart, right? Like, that's another current thing. Like, everyone's just talking about. I didn't even watch the whole roast, bro. I watched the Cat Williams part when he came up there and talked.
Did you think it was funny?
It was funny, but I feel like he was talking the truth, bro. Like, he was telling them, like, hey, this is really how I feel, bro. Like, you really stole everything from me. Yeah, man. So I mean, it was like, I wasn't like dying funny. I just think it was just funny that he was the one that was speaking. That was the main thing.
All right, and so, you know, we're Christians. You're also Black. Did you know, a lot of the jokes were offensive on a lot of different things. Did you find anything offensive or like just wrong? Obviously, we know what roasts are, right? I think people are so up in arms, and it's a thing on the internet because roasts were always a thing that were usually behind a paywall or like came on late night on like Comedy Central back in the day. It wasn't for the mainstream. And now it's on Netflix, right? Because Kevin Hart, he's mainstream, and he's about that dollar. So they made the roast mainstream, and I think people have never watched the roast.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I mean, Tom Brady had one too, like years ago. Yeah, like everyone has one. That's like for charity. Like that's what you do it for. But yeah, I think that's a problem. People don't know what roasts are, and some people think they know. But even now, just people are sensitive, bro. Look at the comedy. You can't say, like back then, bro. You used to be able to say a lot of racist stuff, right? A lot of racist. I didn't care, bro. Like for me, it was like those are stereotypic things. Like let's just laugh about it. That's just what like we all talk about anyways.
Exactly.
So let's just laugh about it. Like, but people are just so sensitive. So I think that plays a role into it too as well. But I think some people have never seen it. You know. Yeah.
Well, like, I think it's the first roast that's like politicalized, you know, or politicized. Excuse me.
What like? So they were doing a lot of. I mean, every roast has racism stuff. Like, was it like over the edge or something? 'Cause I didn't watch the whole roast. I just seen the Cat Williams clip.
I mean, personally, I don't think it was over the edge, but you know, I'm a cis white male, so who cares what I think? But yeah, like there was racist jokes on all sides, like Black and white, right? Like they made fun of Pete Davidson's dad, you know, who died in 9/11, right? They made fun of him. Even Pete Davidson, you know, made fun of his dad dying in 9/11. They made fun of, you know, Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe being, you know, Nazis, and you know, they're making fun of Cheryl Underwood because she's super black, like she's dark, and like they were making jokes about her husband committed suicide, and like, you know, he jumped off a bridge, and
oh yeah, I seen that one. I seen that one.
But the thing is, like, she okayed all of that. Yeah, because she understood. She even said, like, I don't think people understand what a roast is. Like, this isn't for mass consumption like this, and so that's why people are going crazy over it. But it's funny because the right, you know, somebody made a joke about Charlie Kirk, you know, getting killed, and and the right, conservatives are all up in arms about it. And they're like, oh, this is not, like, that's not okay. Even, you know, Erica Kirk, you know, said something about it, and just like, that's not what we do. And it's funny because I know a few podcasts ago, we talked about how everybody's on the same team, right? It used to be the left, you know, wanting, you know, lack of freedom of speech, you know, things to be censored. Now we have the right, the conservatives following the same script, being offended. And it's all the same moves. The left is going to the right is going to the left in terms of like strategy and victimization, right? It wants you to feel like a victim. And so it just, I think it's funny because life isn't that serious. We all make fun of each other. Like, that's what I love about roast, is like, man, this is what it was like growing up in the 2000s.
Yep.
Like, you could say like wild stuff with your friends and no one will get offended.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so there's stereotypes for a reason. Those stereotypes are funny. All races, all backgrounds, all ethnicities, all religions. It's funny because there's truth to a joke. That's what makes it funny. But we shouldn't get offended and be like, oh my gosh, like, that's not okay. If you don't like it, turn it off.
Yeah, it's everyone wants to cancel somebody. Like, people just want to cancel. That's why I think that's what changed society, is that cancel culture. So when that started happening, I don't know when it started happening, but whenever that kind of started happening, that's when people's mindset shifted. It was like, well, I gotta be careful what I say now because I don't want to get canceled. And then people more with them, that started getting more normal now. Like, you can't say certain things, you can't like be around certain people, you can't go into certain stores. But I mean, man, it's prophetic. It's perfect. The Bible talks about how it's going to be control. Like, bro, if you go to certain places, they're going to like flag you for it. It's all control, man. It's all control. So I'm not really surprised by it. It's more sad. It's more sad. It's more sad that the church isn't going the opposite way. The church is going kind of the same direction. They're going slower because they're the church. We have faith, so we're not going down the hill like as fast as everyone, but we're going to go a little slower. But my thing is, you're supposed to be going up the hill, you know. And so, yeah, it is what it is.
Well, yeah, because they know that. They think like, if I adopt these principles and strategy, and you know, I don't become offendable to anybody. You know, Jesus never offended anybody, right? And so they have this idea of who Jesus and Christ was. That's what's the crazy part of it. Y'all study the word. I mean, who knows what they do? I'm gonna be quiet. But y'all are supposed to. Y'all are at the pulpit, and you're giving false ideology about who Christ was. Christ did offend people. It's written. How can you stand for nothing and believe in Christ? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think it's just being put on blast. No one wants to get put on blast and being the one that's like, but in case, what if I'm by myself though? But what if you're not? What if half of the room are waiting for that one person to stand up, and then not half of the room stands up, you know? And so I think it's just that assumption of what if I'm the only one? What if I'm, because no one wants to be that person on blast. Like no one wants to be excommunicated. No one wants to be blackballed, right? But everyone is scared that they're going to be the next one that's blackballed in their relationships, their families, society. And so people don't want to, they want to represent Jesus, but they don't want to be outcasted.
It's funny, man, because
that's what they want.
Last week I had, and this is how internet culture affects people's minds, because they see headlines or they see a clip or they see, a title of something, and they don't go and do their due diligence. They just believe what's on the internet is true in all cases. So I had dinner last week with some people, and they were asking, what exactly we do with Crown. And I was telling them, yeah, we're a Christian organization, blah, 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 and one of the ladies asked me, she's like, now, like, is this like, she's like, I have to ask, like, you being Christian, is this like a white nationalist, like MAGA thing? And I was like, I started laughing. I'm like, look, I was like, my business partner is from the Congo. That's number one. So I mean, that should tell you something there, right? But number two, just because you see something on the internet doesn't mean like that's directly associated to it. And you also have to understand why they're feeding you that narrative of, white Christians are racist and MAGA. Boy, if you don't stop, I listen to Nipsey Hussle. If you don't get up out of here, come on.
Boy, that's why I laugh at people. That's why I laugh.
I know. I know. I wasn't expecting this, but I'm gonna hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know some of y'all be talking. I know some of y'all be talking. I'm talking to y'all right now.
Oh man, come on.
Y'all need to stop hating on a real one, because I know what I stand for, and I know my values. I know my heart. Stop it, because people want it, bro. People want to, man. They want a reason to hate. They want a reason to hate. Yep. You see the hat in the background. I still get comments about this hat right here. Make America gospel again.
Bro,
gospel.
Yeah, man.
People, bro, man. That's why I love when Kanye wore that hat, because when he wore the MAGA hat, because it racked somebody's brain. And it just the hypocrisy and how people think. You have a problem with somebody's opinion or view. At the end of the day, bro, I was telling Ricky this, bro, I'm a gangster's disciple. I'm GD, right? Like, at the end of the day, It's all about Christ. It's nothing else. I don't care about skin color. I don't care about race. I don't even care about your religion, bro. That's what y'all need to understand. I don't care about nothing else. I care about your heart and where you're going at the end of the day. If you got a problem with that, then just know I'm filled with Christ. You got a problem with that? What does that say?
Bro. Nah, bro. I'm happy you said it, man.
I just gotta let them know. I know what y'all be saying.
Yep. No, I
don't think I don't know.
I've seen it. I've heard it. I mean, you've seen it, heard it. So I'm happy you said it, because I get that all the time. And I'm like, bro, you know this brother here? He probably knows more rap lyrics than you.
Come on.
Yeah, man, because you don't even know this brother. That happens a lot, man. But I mean, I get it too. They're like, man, you connect with him, so you believe that too, man. Well, I'm like, bro.
But my thing is, believe what?
Yeah, but what's
believe what? Believe in Christ wholeheartedly. That I wanna hold on. I'm gonna make him mad. I believe in Christ. Yeah, I want America to be gospel again, because it's going down the toilet, because so many people are lackadaisical with what they actually believe in. I'm tired of Christians just, we love everybody and everything is okay, and I'm not going to get offended after you just, I was about to cuss, you pooped on me. Like, no, we got it. You stand for something or you fall for everything. And for me, for anybody that has a question, I stand for Christ. I don't care about nothing else. Your race, your color, your creed, your sexual orientation, bro. We're here to get people to the kingdom. It's kingdom first, it's kingdom business and nothing else. If you got something else to say, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Right. But I'm just tired of all the fake hate.
Yeah, man, it's gonna keep coming, bro. It's gonna keep coming, man. I've been prepared for it. I'm just like, this is prophecy. It's supposed to happen. It's gonna get even uglier. They're just trying to put God in the box. They're trying to put Christianity in the box. What kind of Christian are you? Are you this Christian? Are you that Christian? You've been this way. I'm like, bro,
there's only one Christian,
bro. I can't. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait for God to makes established order, and it says, hey, this is your last straw. I'm putting up the flag. This is it. All these nominations, you can stop all of that. This is the white flag. This is the standard. It's black and white. It's happening, but I just can't wait until like there's power, because revival, people always want to do revival, but they're making revival. If there's no power that comes with it, it's not revival, bro. There has to be spirit and truth. There has to be truth, but there also has to be power demonstrated into it. So all these revivals, I'm like, hey, good job. It was great. I love that you guys are meeting, but I'm waiting for God to do the revival, man. That one is going to change the world, and that one's going to be like, hey, world, here's your last straw. He's the truth, or there's the world, right? And so it's getting closer and closer. That's what I say, a crown and what we're building. It's like a big vision. It's going to take a lot of time. There's a lot of runway because we got a big plane.
Yeah, bro. It's because we're changing people's psychology and how they number one do business, but also how we do life together, right? Like COVID really messed us all up. Now we have the Honda virus.
Is it Honda or Honda?
Yeah, we had the Corolla virus. Now we have the Honda virus, bro. So they're, it's the same movie over and over again. But, nothing that we can do. We're just, pieces in the game.
Yeah, we'll do an episode where we talk specifically about that, because that right there I really want to talk about, because where we're going afterwards is gonna change a lot of things. But I do want to ask you a couple questions, man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. Would you rather have one conversation, you only could pick one person, who is it going to be? Moses, David, or Paul? Again, you have one conversation, you only could pick one person to have that conversation with. Moses, David, or Paul? Who would it be and why?
Moses. I choose Moses because, bro, did you know Moses was like 80 years old when he went and talked to Pharaoh about letting his people go?
Yep, it was 40. 40 years on the palace, 40 years in the desert, 40 years after that.
So, number one, yeah, definitely Moses, because he had to not only just lead his people out, but he had to also confront, like, basically, it's like going to the president right now and confronting the president and be like, hey, you got to let all these Christians out the country.
Bro, that's wild. That's a good perspective. Yeah, that's crazy. They'll be like,
you know what I mean? And then he didn't. And then what happened? All the plagues, all the things that they had to follow, right? Making sure your people are in order. Like, I would love to pick Moses's brain. Like, what were your thoughts in this moment? When you got into the desert after just, parting the sea, and people started already, like, I think it was like maybe less than 15 days. People are already like, why'd you lead us to the desert? It was better to have food and be a slave than it was to be free and not have food. Like, I want to know what his thoughts were. Like, bro, were you stressed out? Because at one point, bro, if you read the Bible, Moses said, don't be mad at me, be mad at God.
Yeah, bro.
Like, y'all are directing your anger towards me. Bring it to God, not me. I'm just being obedient. Right. So the level of leadership that he encountered was crazy. I'm not saying that, David didn't, or even Paul, but I think to have that movement and then have people buy into what you're saying. I'm just curious about like that whole time period. So for me, Moses.
But again, let me ask you, which one would be harder to deal with? Like that confusion of like leading, like all those problems that the Israelites are continuous having, like that knowing, right, of them, right, that knowing, or Paul like talking to the church, like he's going to the church, it's like, you guys aren't doing it right, and there's all these discussions. So basically, like he's establishing the new law, right, with the new church, right? And so there was a lot of arguments and disputes. Look at all the denominations we have today came from all these arguments and disputes, right? And so, like, which one's a bigger headache, do you think?
Man, they're both a headache.
I know, bro.
We're kind of in that Paul situation, but getting people to actively, like, all we're doing is changing people's perspective and perception and using like scripture to back that, right? Bro, Moses had nothing. He just was like, man, I talked to God and this is what I wanted y'all to do. Like, put blood above your door from the sheep. So, the firstborn doesn't get killed, right? Like, imagine like telling somebody that and sharing that vision. And then they do that, but then like taking them out of their known to the unknown, like getting people to physically move. Man, I think that's more of a headache. Because one thing I know about people is we like to complain. We like to take the path of least resistance. And that's a whole lot of resistance that was encountered through that entire story. So that's just my perspective. Both are a headache. I just think Moses's situation was more of a headache. But great question. I like that. What else you got? I think you froze on mine. And who else you say? David? David, I think that also would be a challenge, but things were a little bit more established after, he became king. So, I mean, for me, out of all three, Moses is definitely the toughest situation. But that's for any level of leadership too. Like when you deal with people, it's one of the hardest things that you can ever do, ever encounter. And so, yeah, man, it's tough, but it's a work that's worthy. And so anybody that's a leader, it's just one of those things. Everybody wants to be a leader. And so they actually like get in the position of leading. We talked about entrepreneurship being, people say entrepreneurship is a lonely road, but only if you do it right. But leadership is a lonely road because all the responsibility falls on you. The influence that you have to get people to move is all on you as well. And so you have to level up yourself in your own life. Like we talk about the law of the lid a lot. And for the law of the lid, I think about Moses and his law of the lid, right? Like his lid must have been so high because he was able to not only influence people, but as well as influence the king, right? Like he influenced the king to ultimately let his people go. Pharaoh got pissed and then he ended up chasing them, right? So like his influence was crazy. And so I just think about that. That's also why I think his struggles and the things that he went through was more of a challenge, because like to be in that position to lead. And, I'm sure he got that experience from being in the throne room in Egypt, right? For the majority of his adulthood. So, man, it's just crazy what God requires of us to do when we are called, and we're never equipped. But as you go through, I always say this, you walk by faith, you step in purpose. When you step in your purpose, God is going to equip you along the way. And that's one of the greatest things, because you can only go as far out as you can see. And then you get to the position that you used to only be able to see, and you see a whole nother pathway and a whole other line ahead of you that you didn't see back then. but you walked forward, you continued walking, and now you see a whole different path and how it all plays on top of each other. That's the thing. People want success overnight, but when it comes to your calling, you're never going to see the full picture. You may have the destination, but that's where faith gets enacted and turned into action to ultimately get to that place. So, yeah, man, I think that's a great place to end it. I'm going to go ahead and just pray us out real quick. I know Joel had to bounce for a second, but dear God, thank you so much for this time on this incredible live, on this incredible episode of the CROWNEDCAST podcast. I pray that you just continue to pour into us, continue to lead us and guide our steps every single day as we walk through this life, as we walk through our faith journey. I pray for everybody that comes across this, and I pray it brings value to them, it lifts them up, but as well as encourages them and helps them understand. Doesn't matter if you're like us or you're like Moses or somebody else on the come up, right? If you have faith in your heart and you have Jesus in your heart, he's going to provide the way, God. And so we love you and we praise you for that alone. We love you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next time on the CROWNEDCAST podcast. Get your tickets for Kingdompreneur, June 26th, Dallas, Texas. You're not going to want to miss it. It is going to be incredible. So see you next time. Peace.